Hey everyone, it's Laura and Benjamin from the blog and YouTube channel ourreallyhouse.com, and today I'm gonna tell you guys how to get rid of cradle cap naturally and very easily with just one ingredient. So this is my baby Ben. He's 7 months old, and I don't know about you, but with all of my kids, he's my fifth, and with all of my kids I have found that they've all had cradle cap to some degree. It's not a big deal. Cradle cap most of the time was very harmless. It just will go away on its own after a few months. But if you want to get rid of it naturally and pretty easily, I'm going to show you how to do that, because I've actually had lots of questions about this, and because he is the age, and just the other day I was taking care of his cradle cap the way I'm going to show you today. It's like, I need to put that on my YouTube channel because I get that question all the time. And I forget about it except when I have a baby that actually has it. So for cradle cap, all I use is coconut oil, and then sometimes I add in just one little drop of lavender essential oil, just because lavender has some really great properties for the skin. It's very cleansing and purifying, and it smells really good. I love putting lavender on my babies because it makes them smell amazing, and it is really calming and soothing. So for cradle cap, I'm going to see how well he lets me demonstrate on him. All you need is a little bit of coconut oil. So we buy our coconut oil in bulk because I use coconut oil for a lot of my lotions. I use coconut oil in our hair for like hair masks. It just in so many different skincare things. So I buy my coconut oil in bulk. We also like to cook with it a lot. But for this recipe, it's not very precise or anything. I just do about a tablespoon of coconut oil. You want to get a generous amount onto my hand, and then I just rub it all over his head, like kind of massage it in, rub it in. And I like to do this right before I'm getting ready to give him a bath, because that's the best way to get this back off. So I'm just gonna rub it all into his head, and then sometimes, like I said, I like to add just one drop of lavender, and I'll just put that straight on top of his little head and rub it in with the coconut oil and just smother his head in it. And it's really greasy and it can be a little bit messy. And so, like I said, I like to do this like 10 minutes before I'm gonna give him a bath. I let it soak in, because if you let it soak in, it's gonna make the cradle cap a lot easier to get out. So cradle cap is just scaly, patchy skin. It's kind of like dandruff. It's not the same thing, but like dandruff is dry skin that flakes off and gets in your hair. And that's what cradle cap is, but it doesn't usually flake off on its own. And it's very tempting to want to pick it. But if you pick at it without softening it first with coconut oil like this, it can cause skin irritation to them. It can make it itchy. It can be a little bit painful. It can pull out hair, which is all things we don't want to do. So try not to pick at it. Just do this thing like this. It's really funny because he looks so silly with coconut oil all over his head, but it does really work. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna let it sit on here for about 10 minutes. If you have a baby that has very severe cradle cap, then you might want it to sit on there a little bit longer, because the coconut oil is really gonna loosen that. And then all you do is you take a fine tooth comb like this, and we're gonna go put him in the bathtub, and I'm just going to really gently, we don't wanna pull his hair, it should just come out very easily, but gently just comb his hair, and you'll see the cradle cap come out. Now, if you have a baby that has a lot of cradle cap, it's going to kind of clog up your comb, so rinse your comb off and then just comb it again real gently. We don't wanna pick at it. If it's not coming off easily, then that means that you might wanna put some more coconut oil in and let it continue to soften it, and let the coconut oil do its job, and then go back in there and do it again. And then after I am done getting all the cradle cap out, and I can see that his head is nice and clear and there's no dead skin on there, I will just wash his hair like normal with some of my natural homemade baby shampoo, which I'll link that recipe for you guys. And then after I wash it, I'll just rinse it out, and he is good to go. You can do this as often as you need to. A lot of times it will come back after a few months. Another thing that you can do to prevent it from coming back is when you wash your baby's hair, scrub in just their shampoo, just brush it slightly in the shower, and that'll make any of that dead skin kind of come off before it turns into cradle cap. So not a doctor. This is just my own personal experience. Like I said, he's my 5th kid, and all of my kids have had Cradle crap in some degree at some time or another. And anytime that they get it, that's what I do, and it goes away. And then if it comes back, I just do it again. So that's it, it's pretty simple. Now, if Cradle cap is really persistent and keeps coming back, that can be a sign of yeast. And so if you have yeast, coconut oil is gonna help with that because it's antifungal, but that might mean that there's some like further issues. So if your baby has that white thrush tongue and has Cradle cap and it keeps coming back, then you might want to talk to a doctor, or maybe think about switching up the diet, like getting rid of any types of like fruits or natural sugars, or even sugars or carbs or anything like that, because that could be the cause of the Cradle cap. But for us, it's always just been, when they're little, at one point I do the coconut oil and it goes away, and that's all I have to do. So I love using coconut oil too, because it's very nourishing for their skin and it moisturizes it. So not only does it get rid of the cradle cap, it's also really good for your baby's sensitive skin. So that's it. If you guys are new here, be sure to check out my description box. I have a link to a free essential oil masterclass just showing you all the different ways that we use oils in our home. I find them very helpful with my kids. So if you're a mom, be sure to watch it, because there's just so many ways that you can use essential oils to help your kids to sleep, with silly things like Cradle cap, for cleaning, just so many different things. So I share all that in my free masterclass. There's a link for that down in my description box. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I get out 2 new videos every single week where I share a lot of different essential oil education, DIY all natural skincare and hair care recipes, and a lot of healthy cook with me videos, because I like to make a lot of my food here from scratch for my family, and I like to share that with you all. So that's the kind of stuff you're looking for. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.